Hey folks, time to do another CSS battle. These are from June of 2024. If you've got a Plus membership on CSSBattle.dev, you can do these old ones. We've got 3 puzzles. They're from the first, the second, and the 3rd of May 2024. Let's get right to it. I'm in a conic gradient mood. So let's do a conic gradient here and see how we can do that. Can we do it with 2 conic gradients? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. How about a conic gradient that is this color? 25%. And then dark color. So that's kind of it. We add an at 75%. We got that. Is that 75% down? It is not. 70, 65, 66, 67. That is alarmingly close to 2/3. So let's just say 200 pixels. And that's that. So we don't need the paragraph tag, we don't need any margins, and we actually don't even need the keyword body. We can just do an ampersand. So that's the first part. Can we do both parts? Can we do the first part with that as well? If we add a no repeat and then move it 200 pixels, we kind of get something there, and then we move it down 100 pixels, we can make that work. So that's 2 conic gradients. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Let's turn it into a variable. G is that, and then we can replace these instances with var dash dash G there, and then the second one is just that. So that's a little bit shorter code. If I let this repeat, then it covers everything else. If I change this to be that, then I can have this in the background, and that kind of works. Maybe that's the way to go. Is that shorter? I kind of don't think that that's the way to do it. I think that you do this clump, and then I can remove this, and then I can make this repeat be repeat on the up and down, so Y axis, and have that be a little bit shorter. So I'll submit that. And that's a fine solution. I like that solution. All right, and then I'm gonna minify unit replace. I do these in Safari. The back end is actually Chrome of CSSBattle.dev, but this is pretty representative. I try to write code that's going to be maximally compatible if possible, stuff that I would actually put in production potentially, maybe not wholeheartedly, but everything has to be tested before you put it on the web if you're expecting everyone to be able to run it. All right, let's do the next one. What do we got here? Let's do the blank. I think we are going to need an element, and so we're going to do so this top guy, what am I going to do? We need a background, and I think let's do the circle at the top first. Radial gradient. So the second color is this. First color is blue. 100 pixels. 0. So what do we got? That's a mess. I'm going to take away the height of this guy. Make a height 0 so you can't see him. All right. So what do we need to do? So that's the default radial gradient of 100 pixels, right? Which is sort of what we want, but not really. So we need a circle. And we need to move it. We can do minus, we do 0 minus 100 pixels. No, 0 minus 100 pixels and move it up 150, something like that. And then we get that. And is that fine because we're going to cover it up? Or do we want the at 50% 0, which is a little bit longer to write, maybe? We lose that. Today, I'm feeling like, I don't know. Okay, so let's put this thing in place while I'm having it on. Let's do 100 pixels tall, and let's set some margins to create one of these guys, and then we're going to give it a box shadow of like that. So like that. Okay, so now we want border radius 150. So wait, it's 100 pixel radius, so it's 200 pixels wide. Each one of these is 100, so our border radius is 50 pixels. All right. And then we need margins to put one of these in place. Or we've only got one. So we need 4 margin values. So we want to push this down first. 1.5, there's that. And then this left margin is 200 or something. It would be 208. Oh, maybe 192 because of the default body margins. And then we need 100, or do we need 92? So that's what we just made. I know that's goofy. Let's make it taller. There we go. So here's what's happened. We've made the margins such, so we created our shapes, and I guess we need this box shadow to have this here, because that's the shadow, me and my shadow. Okay, so it's so tall that we've moved this circle, and that's no good. So we need to make it only as tall as it needs to be. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 150, 160, 170, and that's where we start moving the top guy, unfortunately. And so 140 is our guy. That's actually the size. So let's set these border radius 0. And then make him taller. 150. No, that still doesn't quite do it, does it? So, interestingly, so I would prefer to have just this 6, 7, 8, 9, 200. And what I'll do is adjust this value to make it go up more. 6, 7, 8. 81. 80. 180. Let's see if that's 100%. We might have been a little too clever by half. And indeed, that is 99.9% and not our desired 100%. So what are we going to do? I feel very, very much inclined to do circle at 50% at 0, comma. Let's try that. Is that better? I don't know. We're about to find out right now. That is 100% match, and we're going to take it. So that's minify and unit replace and resubmit. So, oh, whoa. I ruined the background because of that color stop. Let's resubmit. So yeah, that was a 23% match score. That's no good. You can't have that. Resubmit. Okay, and then that's done. All right, next. Definitely feeling like all of this is going to be on the background, and we don't need any margins. So what are the things that we need? This could be 4 elements, right? This could be 4 elements, right? Okay, so I'm going to do the blank template here. I think I'm doing this 2 ways. Let's give it each one of these a height and width. And then display flex. So here, this is and then a gap. And then we want to wrap, flex wrap. Wrap. So that's how you get 4 things. Is this the way we want to do it? I don't think this is the best way to do it, but this is a way to do it. So I'm going to use align item center and justify content center. And then we're gonna figure out what we need to do to get these things in place. Oh, and we've also got margins that are operating. So I'm gonna do no margins. Oh no, I do need margins. 0 and 50. I want whatever I need to push those things together to the extent I need them pushed together. And I think I need more gap. 3, 4, 5. So these items need to be bigger. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then how about 40 of a gap? And then how about, so we've got an interesting thing happening here. Do I need to set a margin of 0 on these guys? Maybe. So I'm adjusting them. There we go. So I think we're getting a little closer, but I'm not totally sure that this is correct. 35. So what are the widths of these? Are these 125? Oh, so Flex is doing some stretching here, I believe. Flex is stretching these items. I set margins. Yeah, this is all part of it. I don't think the solution is great. So I'm going to do 30. How about 20 pixels and 30? How about 25 and 30? 26, 27, 25. All right, so 4, 23, 22, 21. Ugh. So I don't like this solution at all. This is not making me pleased. I'm going to follow through with it, but I think that we've got some things happening here that are no good. So let's do just one of these, and then, or much more, let's not do the centering business. I think that's messing me up. 5, and then so we're just gonna do one at a time. 5, 6, 7, 6, 65. Okay, and then the width of this is too wide. 4, 3, 2, 1. And indeed, it's just 120. 120. And then this gap is that's a gap of 30. So okay. What was I saying? The thing that we were seeing was that flex, because I asked it to justify and I asked it to align, was doing some extras that are not helpful to me. Okay, so let's follow through and make these backgrounds do what we want them to do. So each one is going to get a conic gradient from some angle. I'll have a var, not various, var a or 90 degrees, transparent, and then the white. No, 25%. So that's how you get that. And then how about a border radius? And that's how you get that. And the thing that I want that's a bonus is I want an extent. I want a radial gradient that's a cover. And in this case, we want a transparent inner with a var of C or 10 pixels, 20 pixels, 30 pixels, and then blue. So that's how you get that. And then so I'm just going to cheese this border radius. Just say, no, I don't need your border radius because I'm already doing what I want there. So I'm going to default it to 5. No, 60. So B and C and D have different values for these two values. The A and C values. So let's set ourselves up. B and then dash dash A dash dash C. So the angle for the first one is we're going to go from 180 degrees. From blah 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 blah. Yeah. Oh, and then C is going to be 30 pixels. And that is not working. Why isn't that working? I don't know. So it's possible something is wrong and I don't know what. So what happens when we debug? We want to debug this. I don't know what's happening. Outline 1 pixel solid red. And that's not having any effect. So oh. Because I'm nested, that's why. There we go. So that's our little silly guy. So we can get rid of the outline because we know what we're doing, and then we're going to go back to 180, and then the sizing in that is what, 40? All right. And are we in the nested template? No, we're not. So B is that. We're going to make a C, and we're going to make a D, and adjust their values. So the third one is also small, so C is also small, and then its from value is, actually it's from 0, isn't it? 0. And then D, its from value is from 270. And it doesn't have this one. And that is a solution. So that's 4 elements in a flex that are wrapping, and then we use variables to create those. And that is a solution. All right, I don't like it. Let's do it another way. I'm gonna do the nested template, which is really, we're just gonna do the body. All right, so here's what I wanna do. I wanna do, let's make these circles, huh? Radial gradient, circle, and I didn't keep track of what are those colors. 0, 0, 0, 0. I'm gonna do transparent, 60 pixels, and then blue. And that's how I get a circle. Now, I'm gonna do it at, the widths are 200 pixels, no, so 0, 0, yeah, 0, 0. So we want these to be at there, and we want, so that's how we get 2, and then if we give it a height of 150 pixels, we get 4. Now, are those aligned? No, that would be too simple. That's okay, we can figure it out. Let's get some repeats going. 220, 180, 170, and then we move that along the x-axis, 20 pixels, 30, 40. How about 160? So those are, so we're not centered. So we need to do what? We need to make the width different, not as wide. So that's 160, 150, and then go 5. Okay, so that looks okay. So this is what we created. Is that good? Is that necessary? Is this the right approach? No, probably not. It's actually simpler to create a variable. So let's do it the back. So that's the first start. I was just seeing the complexity it was gonna, because we're gonna need to make smaller circles, and then we're going to end up placing each individual one. So let's place each individual one to start with. And let's go from the inside out. So conic gradient, which you'll notice is my go-to conic gradient. I'm going to pause and take a phone call. Please hold. Hey, thanks. Had to take that call. All right, we're going to do this one at a time. We're going to do 2 conic gradients as a variable, use twice each, and then 2 radial gradients underneath a conic gradient. So let's do the conic gradient first. All right. So that's this color, 25%, and then transparent, like so. All right. Then we move it. Minus 100 pixels, and then down 50 pixels. So I got to align this with the edges of that square. So not as far. So 75, and then 6, 7, 8. No, 70, also 75. 75, okay. And then the at value here is, instead of it, so it's at 50%. And then down 200 pixels. No, down 100 pixels. Down 150 pixels. And then 150 pixels as well. No, I just don't have this right. No, because it's 100 pixels. doing? Okay, how about 50? I overthought this. 150, 200. Oh, so it's 150 by 150, right? No. Oh, I have confused myself by taking a phone call. Again, the state of flow, very tricky. But that is not 150 by 150. So let's do 0. Oh, here's why. In my head, I did this. And that's not what I did. I want 75% of that. And then I'm going to move it over. Okay, 100 pixels because it was going in the wrong direction. Okay, 150 over, or 130 over, 125 over, and then down 75 pixels. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part is a radial gradient. That's the small circle. And I'll put black in the background so that I can see. So now we do 100%. No, we'll do 0, 0, 200 pixels by 150 pixels. So that's kind of what we're looking at, 30, 40. Okay, so let's get this. Let's get this happening. Okay, so they're too far apart. I would just like them evenly placed. And so this width has to be shorter, 180. So I'm basically redoing what I did before, which is, you know, is it frustrating? Is it weird? Is it sad? No, not really. 60. And then move it over. And then 150. Okay. So that's a start. And you can't really see what I did there, but that's a start. And now I'm going to variabilize these two other ones. R for gradient. That's not right. Radial gradient. Circle. And it's this color. And it's, what did we say? 60 pixels. And then transparent. And I'm going to put this in place, var dash dash r, which is not a good name for that. Okay, so, and what I would like to do, oh, interestingly, that seems to be doing something very odd with the background size that I don't understand, but that's okay. Let's move that minus 100 pixels, minus 100 pixels. Okay, so that's that. There it is. And then in the deep background, I've got this. So a little bit of a mess. 80, 75, and then is this also 75? No, it's not. Oh, there it is, 75. Okay, and then we want another one, which is over and down, so positive and then positive. And then we have an additional problem. A linear gradient from side to side to cover all of this nonsense. This is not a great solution either, but I kind of like it. So that, transparent, and then that. let's do, you know, is it like 15%, 0, 85%, and 0. And that's covering. And that's fine. It's an okay solution. So that's also, you know, 100% solution. So let's minify and unit replace and stop this madness, because I'm not excited about any of this. It is a complicated shape, right? Like it's a complicated set of shapes. That is a better score than I've gotten in the past, which is a surprise. I have only done it less efficiently in the past, so this is the most efficient I've done. I'm sure there are other ways to do it, but today these are the ways. I hope you enjoyed that. Go make a web page, because everybody's carrying around web browsers. It's pretty cool to share with the world a web page. All right, have a great day. Bye-bye.